Hello. So we're on lesson 2, greener pastures. You've been in this lesson for 5 days. You've got 5 more days to really dig into this. And I love this lesson. It talks about the story of acres of diamonds. It's such a great story. This farmer, he had a farm, he had diamonds right there, right in front of him. And he went away to search the world for diamonds and never found them, but they were right there in front of him. How many times do we do that in life? You know, Dr. Conwell, you hear the story of Dr. Conwell here, and of course he took advantage of the opportunity right in front of him, and he was able to build a university and give education to these young boys who didn't have the money to get the education. I think about this lesson in the context of what happened with me, because I was in that seminar in 2006, and you know, Bob Proctor was teaching, and I swear to God, I felt like he took my head off, shook it all around, and put it back on. And I was just like, what's up? What's down? What's, you know, I didn't even know what was what. But in that process, he got me to get in touch with what I really, really wanted. And I wrote in teeny tiny print in this workbook that we had. It was actually the Science of Getting Rich book, little green book, and I wrote in teeny tiny print. You know, he kept saying, what do you want? What do you really want? And I wrote, I want to be in the inner circle of this company. I want to be Bob Proctor's closest advisor. And I want to create a program with him to bring in these companies that I'd been in, and these boardrooms and executive offices that I'd been in for 18 years at that time. And I wrote that down, but I slammed the book shut because my paradigm's saying, well, who are you? You're just a lawyer. How are you going to do that? But, you know, I set out, I decided that's what I want to do, and I set out and I studied Bob Proctor, and I studied the industry, and I studied his company that he'd been studying this since 1961, and he communicated it so effectively and in such a captivating way, and I was just fascinated. And you know, I just studied everything that was out there, and I saw an acres of diamonds there. I really did. And I just wanted to help Bob Proctor take what he was teaching and get it out there in a much bigger way. And that became my magnificent obsession. It became my burning desire, what I really fell in love with. And so you want to think about this Acres of Diamonds story and just think, are the acres of diamonds right there in front of you? Because the paradigm is going to tell you that they're not. The paradigm is going to say, go out there. Go over there, go somewhere else. But look at what's right in front of you. And, you know, there's some great points in this lesson about how you want to really study your industry. This is what I did when I was wanting to go work with Bob Proctor. He said, this is what Earl said, do you know all you can about your industry? How did it begin? Why did it begin? Who started it and when? What is your industry's annual dollar volume? How fast has it grown during the past 20 years? What's its projected growth during the next 10 years? There's all these things we can study with wisdom and with patience. We study this. We look at it objectively. He calls it intelligent objectivity, where we look at it from the outside. We look at it from the perspective of somebody else who's looking in and saying, hey, that's a greener pasture. And we want to learn to do that, get a different perception of what's right in front of us. And that's what I did with Bob Proctor and with the industry and with the material that he taught. And I fell in love with it, and I saw the Acres of Diamond. That was back in August of 2006. And I fell so in love with it, and now I'm partners with Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute. And it's because of this concept of acres of diamonds and understanding it with intelligent objectivity. And that's what we want to do. And I think the real key to this lesson is that the acres of diamonds is within you. And the paradigm tells you you can't do it. Whatever it is for you, whatever you love, whatever you really want to do. And the paradigm might not even let you recognize that this is what you want to do. But you want to allow that to come out. Allow yourself to be consciously aware of it, and then understand you can do it. And don't let that paradigm win. Definitely don't let that paradigm win. So study this lesson, listen to the audios. I love the audio on this lesson. Listen to it over and over. Give yourself at least an hour a day to study this. Go through the workbook, do the exercises, really get into this. You've got 5 more days before we move on to the next lesson. See you then.